Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to Getting Started with Cambridge. We are looking today at Compact. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. You have just joined the Compact session here with me, Kate Trafford. It's lovely to have you here this afternoon. You are getting started with Cambridge this afternoon. If you want to, pop a little hello message in the chat box. That's there for you to use throughout this whole session. If you'd like to say where you're based and perhaps what levels you teach as well, we can all get to know each other. That would be lovely. So hello, I'm Kate Trafford. I am one of the professional learning and development trainers here at Cambridge, Iberia. I'm based down in the south of Spain, and we do training all over Europe. So hello from Lithuania, welcome. Hello from Switzerland, fantastic to have you. Oh, two people, oh no. So two people from Switzerland, but it just loaded twice. Hello, Laura. Lovely to have you here. I know it's Friday afternoon, so thank you so much for joining us. I imagine you've had a busy day at school or at work, or perhaps you're about to start work if you're doing some evening classes. But we appreciate you joining us this afternoon. Hello from Italy. Fantastic. Hello, Marie. Thank you so much for joining us. Hello, Francesca. Hi, everyone. Okay, we're just gonna give it 1 or 2 more minutes because people are still entering, and then we will get started. So for those people who have just joined, my name is Kate Trafford. I work for Cambridge University Press and Assessment Iberia, based down in the south of Spain. It's lovely to have you. You have joined the Compact session today, and we will be looking, of course, at the very compact book that is Compact. All the exam resources available on Compact. We will be talking a lot today about exams and where you can find all of the resources available from Cambridge. Okay, the attendance numbers are still going up, so I'm just going to wait 1 more minute and then we will get started. Hello from Roma. Hello. Hello from Bavaria. Fantastic. Thank you for joining us. Lithuania. Lovely. Do we have lots of secondary school teachers here, perhaps? Hello, Dina. I see some secondary schools. We've got quite high levels. We've got lots of B1s up to C2 even. Fantastic. I haven't seen any A2s. So perhaps we are all secondary this evening, wherever you are based. Okay, lovely. Right, I'm going to make a start then. So welcome to this afternoon session of Compact, Getting Started With. So before we start, just to let you know that you will receive your attendance certificate should you stay more than half an hour in this session, and you will also receive a recording of this session in a follow-up email. As you've been doing, please do feel free to interact with me in the chat box. I will be asking a lot of questions, and I would love your interaction on the chat box so we can share and we can learn from each other. If you have any specific questions that you would like to answer, that you would like me to answer at the end, please do pop them in the Q&A chat box. Sorry, not the chat box, the Q&A box, which you have on your screen as well. Okay. So anything to participate, I will be monitoring the chat box. Any specific question that you would like to be answered in detail, it can go in the Q&A box. We're also joined today by my colleague Aurélie, who will be monitoring the chat box and sending you links throughout. So when I'm mentioning specific resources, what you can do is click on the link. It will take you to the website or whatever it may be. You can bookmark that website for later on, just so you have it for your reference. So thank you in advance, Aurélie, for doing that. So let's get started then. So today we will be starting with looking at the support available from Cambridge, so a range of examination resources available to you. Then once we've had a look at that, we'll be diving into Compact specifically and looking at the key elements of this material. And then at the end, we'll have time for any questions and answers from the box. So let's get started then. Test and Train is one of the most amazing resources available to you. It comes with Compact, so it's a completely free resource for you to use. And it is essentially exam practice that does exactly what it says on the tin. It tests the students using example papers and it trains them on examination skills. Now, if you could let me know in the chat box, have you used Test and Train before? Is this something that you already know how it works? Perhaps you've seen the benefits of this in your classroom already? No? Okay. Okay, great. If you haven't used it, that's also really good because it's about to change your life. Okay, really good. Well, I'm so happy then, in a way, that you haven't heard of it because you're really going to love it. So I'm going to show you a quick video about what Test and Train does, and then we're going to have a little look at how we can use it in the classroom.
Discover Test and Train, the class-based, mobile-friendly tool designed to encourage independent learning from Cambridge. Develop learners' exam readiness through the extensive range of reading, listening, and writing exam practice tasks. Motivate students to conquer their exams with unlimited practice. Build confidence and sharpen their skills with timed practice tests. Inspire and celebrate growth by targeting tricky areas to practice. Effortlessly track your learners' progress with real-time, individual and class-wide data views. Maximize students' exam training with the power of auto-marking and instant feedback so you can focus on in-class learning. Get exam day ready with Test and Train. Test and Train, the simpler, quicker way to learn.
I'm going to stop it there, and I'm just going to take you back to the main page. So Test and Train, as you will have just seen in the video, is a very comprehensive program that you get with Compact, and it is essentially lots of practice tests that are automatically marked and accessible to students on their phones or on their own laptops, tablets, etc. Now you can assign specific tests to the students, or they can do self-study and just go ahead and practice. So a really fantastic tool. Now, you will have access to Test and Train on a website called Cambridge One. We're going to come to Cambridge One in a little bit, but just keep that in mind that Test and Train comes on Cambridge One. So another resource then that is fantastic for you to use for your examination preparation is Write and Improve. Again, let me know in the chat box, have you used Write and Improve before? And if you have, fantastic. Maybe you could write a little top tip that you have used. And if you haven't, don't worry, we're going to go through it. And it's another really good resource. Okay, so a couple of no's. Yeah, it's a really good task, a really good resource, even that you can do lots of writing tasks. Okay, so in a nutshell then, Write and Improve is a sort of AI software to help our students develop their writing for exam preparation and develop their writing exam skills. Now, what it does, I will show you here, is that it gives you gives the learner, it gives a practice question for part 1 or part 2, and then they start writing their answer. And of course, it's online, so they can delete anything, they can change it, very easy to chop and change, copy and paste, etc. And then it is marked by AI, and they are given automatic feedback. You can see here that we have the exclamation mark for a spelling mistake. We have the star with the question mark there that is asking the student a question. Do you mean this? Okay, so if I show you an example. Okay, so we just go in there and it will try and give the correction to the students so they can learn from their mistakes. Now, this is a really great tool to use when you're doing process writing. So rather than a large summative task or end of unit task, what it does is throughout the unit, it helps them redraft and re-edit and modify their writing, learning each time from their mistakes. So they can practice and they can be learning from the mistakes, and at the end, they then can submit their best writing to you, the teacher. So it saves you, the teacher, a lot of time doing the redraft edits because the software is doing it for you. So you can just read their best work, and they've done the independent study of learning from the mistakes using Write and Improve. So a fantastic tool, not only for the learner to learn from their own mistakes, but for you as a teacher, because it is so time-saving. You'll see here in the test zone that these are the different ranges of past exam questions that they can choose from. or as a teacher that you can assign them. In this case, there is a B2 first level, but there are different levels as well. So this is a really good tool to use either in the classroom, if you are lucky enough for the students to have their own tablet or laptop in the classroom, or equally at home for them to practice. Now I'm going to come on to Cambridge One then, and I'm going to look specifically at all of the resources available and mention where you can find Test and Train that we looked at before. So what is Cambridge One? It is a resource and a website that has everything that you need all in one place. So it has your teacher book, it has the student book, it has the activity book, it has all of the audios, the test papers that you can download, it has a test generator, everything that you need for a teacher, it's all there. It's age appropriate, meaning that the students also have accounts and have access to it, and that they can be playing practice games, and it's really user friendly for young learners. It also has data you can trust. So all of the practice that they are doing on their phones or on their laptops, it is all linked to the class system that is set up for you, and you will be able to see their results, and you can download and do a data analysis from everything on Cambridge One. So this will help inform your planning, and it will help you in your classroom, in your classroom activities as well, because you can use it, as I said, in the classroom, or you can assign it tasks for homework. Of course, you will need Compact for this. Yes, you do need to buy Compact and have access to the teacher book in order to get access to Cambridge One. Now, how to log in then? You just simply use your personal or your school email address. You just create your own account. You don't need anything Cambridge-wise for that. You create your own account. Then what you will need here, and it's really important, is the teacher book. In the teacher book, in the first page, you will find there's a little gray area that you scratch out, and it gives you a special code. That is your activation code that you will need to activate the materials here. Okay, as you can see, we have Compact just here. That's because they've been activated using the teacher book. Now, if you don't have the teacher book, I recommend that you get in touch with your local ELT consultant, your sales rep, and they'll be able to help you get your hands on a teacher book. So once you're on this page, then you've activated your materials, you click on the book that you would like to start teaching, and it takes you to these 4 elements. Now, this is probably where you'll be spending most of your time. There is a really comprehensive set of resources within each of these sections. So Practice Extra then, that is it is literally what it says on the tin. It is extra practice, okay? It is interactive, fun little games per unit to be practicing for the students. Again, you can play it on the interactive whiteboard, or you can assign it as homework, and they will be able to do it from their phones. You have the test generator. So this is where you can download this software and essentially create any test you want within minutes. You can either select your own questions and answers by going through and thinking, I would like this question, and you can cherry pick the ones you want. Or if you don't want to do that, you can equally just download a pre-made test per unit. Okay, that is a test generator. So you never have to make a assessment from scratch again. Presentation Plus, and now I actually meant to swap these 2 around, sorry. Presentation Plus is your ebook. Okay, this is where you will find your student book, your teacher book, and essentially where it says in the teacher book listening activity, you will find your audio here. Okay, or in the student book as well, you will find your audio. And then finally, we have teacher resources. This is an area where it has lots of worksheets available. It has extra videos. It's got external links to wider reading. Okay, so again, have a look through on teachers' resources. I really recommend to you that you spend some time once you have got logged in and you've activated your materials for Compact, that you spend some time playing around with Cambridge One and really getting to grips with the amount of resources that Cambridge One has. So an extra section of Cambridge One, previously we were in My Library, and now we're in My Training. So if you would like some extra help or some more detail on how to use Cambridge One in the classroom, you have these self-study modules up here. If you want a little bit more professional development about wider pedagogical aspects such as behavior management or teaching mixed ability, you have access to these professional development courses as well. They range from 2 to 4 hours and they are self-study modules. Now, I did mention earlier about Test and Train. You will be able to find Test and Train under My Classes. Okay, so that's where you want to go when you're looking for your Test and Train. So that is Cambridge One then. And now we're going to have a look at supporting your exam journey from the very beginning right up until results day. So here we have the exam preparation journey website. As I said, it is a support resource from the beginning to the end. Each section and each stage of your journey is supported with a number of packs. So you can see down here on the left, we have pack 1, starting the journey, and different packs all the way to pack 10, results and celebrations. Each pack is also specific to the different levels as well. So you will be able to click on the exact level that you are teaching and you will get a pack specific for your level. So we're going to zoom in then and we're going to have a look at what do you get in one of these packs. So for example, if we look at pack 6, that is demonstrating progress. Within this pack, you will get a range of activities and ideas to help keep the students motivated. Okay, they may be hitting that sort of midway point. They may be feeling that they've hit a bit of a brick wall. So it provides some ideas and activities to how to combat that. It gives you ideas how to build confidence in your learners. It also gives them an opportunity to expand and refine language and how you can practice that in the classroom. And it also gives you ideas to build on prior knowledge and to put retrieval practice into your lessons. For example, then, what does that look like? Here, this is, if we take the B1 level, this is a downloadable PDF booklet of how to improve vocabulary at the stage 6. So we're now in the middle. How are we really getting them to refine and expand their vocabulary? So this PDF book has a range of activities such as categories, My Perfect Holiday, Preach Class, What Makes You Feel, Spot the Similarities, etc. Now each activity, as you can see, has a description of how it works. It links it specifically to the exam and it tells you the timing of the activity. Okay, so this is a really comprehensive booklet that you can download. Now, what I recommend with all of these booklets and PDFs to download is that you save them to your shared folder with your English department, or you save them on your Teams or Google Classroom, whatever it may be, and that you discuss, the activities that you're going to try in your classroom, and that you discuss best practice, what worked with that classroom, or what perhaps didn't work, and how you're going to change it. All of these here will give you ideas to help start that conversation with your colleagues about the different activities that you're trying. So let's have a look at Pack 9 then. What is included in Pack 9? Well, we're looking at how to give feedback at the final call, practical information about exam day, so what do learners need to bring with them, where do they need to go, etc. Confidence boosters and mindfulness activities to calm those nerves. And then finally, a RAG quiz analysis. And I'm going to show you what that looks like. So here then, if we are exam day ready, this is a RAG. So we're talking about red, amber, and green. So before they go into their exam, perhaps the week before, or even throughout their whole exam journey, they could be doing a RAG. Now, a RAG is broken down into different areas of their learning. So in this case, the different parts of the exam, and then their results for different tests or assessments that they've been doing. Now we can see here this pupil is green because they have done well in their writing this whole time. However, they really know that they need to practice their use of English because test 1, amber, they didn't do so well, and test 2, perhaps they failed and they need to be working on that. Okay, it's a really good exercise for the pupils to feel ownership of their learning and to really create that sense of independence when it comes to study skills as well. So what else do we have on the website for you? We have a range of academic papers. Okay, so if we look through here, these are called white papers. It is based on all of the latest pedagogical research that the University of Cambridge has been doing. So if you would like to broaden your material or broaden your reading, do have a read of these. They're really, really interesting. And it talks about the theory, so teaching and learning theory, and also includes practical activities as well. So it's a nice blend. Again, these are really nice to perhaps if you are someone who leads the English department meeting, it's a good way to start the meeting by discussing something that you have read in one of these papers. Equally, you don't have to be the person starting the meeting. You could bring it to the meeting and ask if people would like to discuss something interesting that you've read. So now then, we're going to have a look at sustainability. So what does sustainability mean to you? And why do you think that we should be talking about sustainability in the English classroom? If I could ask you, please, if you would like to write your answers in the chat box, then we can have a little share about what does sustainability look like in your classroom and why should we be talking about sustainability now? I'll just give you 1 minute to write your answers. Not not to forget what has been achieved, sharing ideas, how to improve methods. Okay, thank you, Laura. Thank you, Giovanna. Okay, so sustainability then, it is very much a common word that is out there right now. We see it on the TV, we see it on the news. There's lots about sustainability. So why do we think then that sustainability should be taught in the classroom? Well, we know that young people want to play an active part in society. They want to feel part of a community and they care about their planet. It's a meaningful and contextualized engagement with the English language. Okay, so they know they're putting it into practice with a purpose. Development of life skills. So as they grow older and they perhaps leave us when they're leaving at 16 or 18 years old, that they have this understanding of what has changed with our planet and how to protect it in the future. English will be seen across news forums, etc., as part of global discussions. And it could just be that you have a governmental or institutional requirement to teach sustainability. But we know as well that all of these reasons here are really important reasons as to why we should discuss sustainability. Amelia, thank you so much for your chat box answer as well. It's definitely a way to educate young people about their future. Definitely. So how can we support you then at Cambridge? We have the sustainability framework for you, and we have these activity cards. Now we have young learner ones, if you're perhaps at A2 or B1 level, and then we also have teenage activity cards as well. So these activity cards then are really simple, quick ways of getting sustainability into your classroom. It's broken down into 4 areas. So we have knowledge, values, transformation, and innovation. Now, these sections here, they will tell you which part of the framework you are looking at, and then the activity is broken down into an explanation here. So this one here, we're talking about improving our knowledge and understanding of sustainability, and the activity is finding connections within and between systems. Now, very similar to the other PDFs that I was talking about, you can download them, print them out even, or maybe that's not very sustainable, but you can print 1 copy for your department or keep them on your shared folder and discuss them as part of your ongoing professional development with your department. Now, they're very low preparation activities for you to include. You do not need to be printing anything out or, gluing or creating any kind of resource yourselves. This is a very quick go-to, quick and easy way to get conversations about sustainability happening in your classroom. So this is a big word then. The big word not just in education, but I think everywhere. AI. If I could ask you, please, what do you think about AI in education at the minute? How do you feel about teaching or about even just using AI? Can be anything that you feel. Pop your answer in the chat box and let's see how we are feeling about it. Okay, helpful. Thank you, Philomena. Curious. Yes, definitely. I think I would say, that there's on one hand, I could be a bit reserved, and on the other hand, I know it's something that's very exciting. Definitely beneficial to be used with care. Need to teach people how to use it. Yeah. Yeah, we need to know how to use it and what the students need to know as well. Wow, lots of answers. Thank you so much. Can be helpful, but students need to understand, yeah, there's a danger to it as well, that we need to protect them and that they need to understand that it's not just straightforward. If used correctly, it can be beneficial, misused, dangerous. Exactly. All of these answers are totally agree with all of them. There is lots of positives, but there are also dangers, and it's so important that our learners know about those dangers as well. So have a look then at our generative AI idea pack. Again, you can download this and it's broken down into these three sections. So we have the digital classroom, which is very much talking about the tools and the activities that you could be doing in your class to do with AI. Then we have the digital world. This is very much about information and the wider world. And then digital teacher is about improving your understanding as a teacher and how you can develop your own skills so that you feel confident going into the classroom talking about AI. Giovanna, if you would like the idea pack, their link has just been sent above there from Orally. You can see Gen AI idea pack for the link. Fantastic. That is the idea pack then. So do let us know how you get on with this idea pack. You will find lots of really interesting ideas, and it's a great opportunity to start these conversations. If you're lucky enough to have the staff room or just with your colleagues on the corridor. So final thing then about digital qualifications before we move specifically into looking at Compact. But just so you know, a little bit of information about digital then. Also, maybe you may have heard of them as computer-based exams rather than our paper-based exams. But it's essentially the same thing as paper-based, but of course, digital. It's all on a computer. Now, all of these qualifications are available in digital format. And these are the sort of things that digital can offer that is a bit different to paper-based. So they are very secure, randomized tests for increased security. The results are incredibly fast. Now we know how excited our learners get when they are waiting for their results, and they come in between 5 to 10 days. Okay, so super quick. On demand, so this gives you a lot of flexibility in terms of your dates. Okay, so if you think that, for example, your learners need a little bit of extra time because they're not quite ready at the date you thought they were going to be, well, then you can wait because they are available every day. Okay, you will need to check specifically with your exam center because we still need to go to a venue to do these. But the more sessions that your exam center will run, they can be run any day of the week. So easy administration as well. Very quick setup for if we have any exam administrators or exam officers here. Better experience for the candidate. This has definitely been something that has come up quite a lot in the writing exam. Students find it much easier to be able to correct themselves and do a draft and then submit their final essay when they are writing online. Also with the listening exam as well, it's much better. They get headphones like I am wearing now, and they are able to sort of concentrate further with the listening exam. And then finally, as I mentioned before, it's very flexible. You can register up to 2 working days in advance of the exam. As I said, so you can either move your test earlier if your students are proving to be really strong and on a roll and you think, yes, they can do the exam earlier, or equally if you need to push it back a little bit because they're just not quite ready yet. Okay, So all of these things then are available through the digital examination. Do get in contact with your examination center for more details. So now we're going to be moving on then to Compact. So before I start Compact, I just want to ask if you have any questions at all about what we have just looked at. So if we think about it, we have looked at Test and Train, Cambridge 1, Write and Improve, the exam preparation journey website with the different packs. We've looked at sustainability, we've looked at AI, and we've looked at the digital version of the exam. So all of those all together. If you have any questions, I will invite you now to put them in the chat box or also in the Q&A box as well. I'll give you a minute to do that before we start. Laura, I do agree with you. Thank you for your message in the chat box. You're right. We also avoid the issue of handwriting when it comes to digital exams. You know, a lot of our learners, perhaps unfortunately, are a bit illegible at times, and we know as teachers how long it takes to try and work out what a sentence means when the handwriting is bad, and it completely eliminates that factor. So yeah, great comment. Thank you, Lara. Lovely. So let's move on to looking at Compact then. So what is Compact? It is for both school age and adult students, ranging from A2 key for schools or A2 key up to C1 advanced. It is contextualized units of short, intensive exam preparation. So essentially, the name Compact really is exactly what the book is. It's Compact Exam Preparation Intensive Course. It can be used to supplement other courses or used alone for intensive short courses, roughly between 40 to 60 hours. Or if you use it in conjunction with another project, you can make it last longer. Okay, we will be talking very much about exams now, and we're looking at how Compact will support exams because that is what it does. It's very to the point, it's no frills, and it's all about getting the learner very comfortable and used to the exam and also developing their language skills as well. So firstly then, we have the map of the unit. This is taken for one example book. This is from the B2 book, but we will be looking at different levels as well, okay? But you'll see that when I say contextualized, I mean that it's broken down into topics and units. So for example here, my community, talking about New Year celebrations, friends, etc. And then we go straight into the grammar required at that level, vocabulary required at the level as well. And then we are looking at exam skill practice. So broken down to all of the different skills, reading, use of English, writing, listening, and speaking. And that is for every single part of every unit. So let's zoom in then. This is Compact Key for Schools. And what you'll see here is that obviously we have the main page, an introductory to My Free Time. And then you will see in yellow, we have an exam task. So as soon as we go in, we have perhaps an introductory paragraph about the content. We have an introduction of the grammar. We have an introduction of the vocabulary, and we are straight into exams. Now this one here, if I zoom in for you, we are doing a listening exam task. And remember, you will find the audio for this listening on Cambridge 1. Further to this then, again, we're at a different book now. We're now looking at B1 Preliminary. This is Unit 2, introduced with a reading comprehension, specifically reading part 4. So not only does it focus on the reading paper as a total, it is broken down into the skills required at different parts as well. If we look over here then, we see the yellow box and it is an exam tip. Now this is an essential strategy for a skill of how to tackle this part of the exam, as I mentioned. Okay, so if you look out for these yellow boxes, it will tell you specifically how to train your students for that part of the exam. An activity that you can do then, so if we go back here, if we look at this reading, so this is particularly looking at sport, but we have a reading that we are going to be doing. Of course, this is all in context. This is at B1 level. But if we wanted to expand this reading here and take it to not only be a reading activity, perhaps we could make it into a speaking and reading activity. This is an idea for you to try. So this is called a trapdoor vocabulary activity. And what you can do is you can take the text, whether it's your own text or whether it's a text from the book, and you can choose a couple of sentences and then add in some different variations. Now, this is a game, so I'm going to tell you how it works. But you have the students in pairs, and they both have to choose which word they are going to choose per three. So here we've got yellow, green, and pink. Now, for each set of 3 words, they have to choose one. Okay, now they do this individually. So, for example, myself, I might choose protect, cleaner, frequently, drinking, and thinking. Those are my words. I've kept them secret. My partner doesn't know what they are. And now my partner has to start reading this activity out loud. And if they get or they choose the word that I have chosen, tick, they move along and they keep reading. It's only when they say a word that I did not choose. So for example, here, if they say hybrid cars are better, they have to go all the way back to the beginning. Okay, so you can imagine what it's like when you go through all of you've passed through and you've got to the very bottom one, and they say, sipping on my fizzy drink, worrying. No, back to the top. They have to read the whole thing again, and then they say, on my fizzy drink, panicking. No, all the way back up to the top. So what this does is it helps them with their reading skills, helps them with their speaking skills, and then you can pull it apart as well, and then you can look at these words afterwards, and you can relate it to the use of English. And you could be talking about, okay, so we know here, drinking, slurping, sipping. Well, what does the word slurping mean? Perhaps, that is a brand new word for them. And then you could be talking about the grammar. So we've got the gerund here. Then you could be saying, okay, what is the actual verb to slurp? Okay, and then how can we relate it to different types of words? Then we've got the word tree, the family tree of the word. So how can we turn that into an adjective, into a noun? Okay, and you can really pull apart this type of activity that you've taken from the book. Okay, so this is a really good one to relate to exams. Moving on then, I want to show you the grammar reference point that we've got. So we have whole pages dedicated to the level of grammar that they will be needing. And then we have listening as well, of course, whole pages dedicated. And it's all about, if I zoom in for you, you'll see here, it's relevant content, it's contextualized content. We've got Simone Biles here, incredible. Definitely about the Olympics that have just happened. We can relate it to that. And you can see another exam task here. So the grammar then, we have extra vocabulary and grammar exercises, as I've just mentioned, and then the same with writing and speaking. Okay, now what is really great about Compact as well is that it has this here, let me zoom in for you. It is this little logo, which is the Cambridge corpus. And that means that it is common mistakes that learners may make in these exams, and it is to really try and avoid any misconceptions and to get rid of those sort of false friends. Okay, so anytime you see that logo, it is particularly looking at common mistakes that learners make. Thank you for your comments, Laura. I'm glad. Yeah, never skip the Cambridge corpus, definitely. Because yeah, it really just zoom in on the common mistakes that we see the whole time. So it's really worth mentioning. As you'll see as well, we said we have past papers. This one here, you are looking at 6 examples where the present simple is used instead of the past, and 2 spelling mistakes. So this one is actually putting the learner in the shoes of the examiner and thinking, okay, how can I correct this past paper example? Okay, so this one goes through and it will tell you the answers. And you can either do this on your interactive whiteboard, or you could set it for homework as well. We have a grammar reference guide as well for extra sections if they want to practice their grammar, looking at the use of English. Okay, and then it also is broken down here into what a good writing looks like. You can see it has an annotated answer as to why it's done well or why it hasn't been quite so successful this time. Okay, that's really useful for you to be using in your classes so that learners fully understand what a good writing looks like. Okay. And then last thing for Compact then, if you are in a school setting and that you would like to extend these, extend the hours that you're using Compact, then we have the projects available for you. These projects here are available at the end of every unit if you would like to extend the unit. So if we just zoom in, this one here is a class project. It could be an interview, for example. Okay, this takes you down step by step how to do the project in the teacher's notes just here, and it's really good if you would like to extend the Compact book to make it work around your the context of your school. So to consolidate Compact then, what we have looked at today, we have seen that Compact builds confidence and consolidates language skills and exam skills through clear, concise training. Students learn essential strategies for the exam, so it's really important that they are fully aware, not just about, English language, but what is going to come up in the exam as well, and that they feel confident going into the exam. Students deepen their understanding of language and structure with the exam-specific grammar sections and grammar reference. Okay, so there's lots to do there to practice their exam grammar skills. They have extend proficiency in productive skills with the writing bank and the speaking bank that someone has just mentioned in the comments that they really like using. So thank you for that. It has the class projects. These are downloadable project-based learning for every unit. Roberta, you can find them on Cambridge One in the teacher's resources and at the end of every unit. Okay, so once you get to unit one, once you get to the final page, you will find the class projects there. Okay, they're also ready to download from Cambridge One. And then we have all of the digital packs that I mentioned before from Cambridge One. You have access to the Presentation Plus, extra practice with the games, Test and Train, your interactive ebook, and all of the other resources that we've talked about, like Write and Improve as well. So that is Compact then. If I could ask you now to just do a quick 3, 2, 1 about Compact. So 3 things that you now know about Compact, 2 ideas that you would like to try, and then 1 resource that you're definitely going to use from the support section that we looked at the beginning. Now, you don't have to write all of your answers in the chat box if you don't want to, but if you could share just 1 or 2 of your answers, that would be really great, and we can learn from each other. Equally, you can just self-reflect as well, but we would love to hear what your thoughts are. Revisit, Test and Train, definitely. Lara, there's a whole section on YouTube of how to use Test and Train as well if you want some extra information. You like the trapdoor activity? Nice. It's a good one because it's so fun. They can play it. They play it in pairs, and you'll see the whole room they're all engaged. They're all on activity. They're all speaking in English, and they're so focused. It's really, really nice. Test and Train, writing bank, yep, the trapdoor activity. There's so much digital material, Roberto, you're totally right. Test and Train, try out Cambridge One, yep, get yourself on Cambridge One straight away, get that teacher code in your activation code, extended project, Test and Train, Write and Improve, yeah. Write and Improve, Marie, as well, the students really like it because they see it as a bit of a competition between each other. They like you get a score, so they like to try and beat each other with the scores. And Test and Train as well. Well, Test and Train seems to be the most popular one. Now, in addition to Test and Train then, I just want to go back to the test generator, because don't overlook this. Okay, this is very similar to Test and Train in a way. It's not interactive, okay, but it does, if you are looking for extra tests, you know, and it could be that pupils mark it themselves or that, you know, they do peer marking, whatever it may be, they mark it for homework. Test Generator is really good as well. Obviously, Test and Train is automatically marked, but don't forget about Test Generator. Okay. Fantastic. All right then. Thank you for sharing your 321 in the chat. I really appreciate it. And just to say a big thank you. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. I hope it's been very useful for you. And to let you know that we have lots more sessions still available for teenagers coming up next week if you teach teenagers as well. So I am going to launch a poll and then I'm going to be looking at the Q&A as well. So let me just open that now. And if you have any feedback for us, then you could let us know in the poll. That would be really helpful. Thank you so much. And I'm going to open that Q&A now. Okay, so as you do the poll, thank you so much. I'm just going to answer the question, which is, what is the difference between compact, complete, and open world? Yes, so that's a comment that we get a lot. Basically, compact is, it's compact, it's short, it's intense. The other books are a lot more spread out. They're a lot more unit-based, whereas compact is very, very tailored to the exam. Every single page is about the exam, whereas in complete and open world, it's more about you know, learning skills and the Cambridge Life competencies, etc. Compact is exam focused only. Okay. Which Cambridge books include Cambridge 1? All of them. No, all of them include Cambridge 1. Okay. Pretty much. Anyway, there might, now I've said that, there might be one or two actually that don't use Cambridge 1 just yet, but very, very few. Pretty much all of them do have Cambridge 1, okay? But you do get that teacher book. Contact your local rep if you don't have a teacher book. Okay. Fantastic. All right, thank you so much. Have a lovely rest of your weekend, and do get in touch with us via our website if you have any more questions. Thank you so much. Take care.